Hey superstars, today I'm back in the kitchen cooking up a forearm balance. So if you kick up wildly and struggle to find balance within your forearm balance, then check this out. This is just an exercise to help you feel where your balance is. And so you're going to take a kitchen counter or a wall, face into the room. You're going to set yourself up in your forearm balance with your forearms on the floor. Then put your feet on the edge of the counter. Now you might just want to stay here just to get the strength in your shoulders, to get the feel, the position here. You push slightly off the wall to get your bum slightly over your head. Then one leg will come off. This top leg is balancing the bottom leg. So you feel your balance through your upper body from your fingertips to your shoulders to your pelvis. And then you can take the second foot off and notice that you're not pushing off. You're not just bouncing off the wall. You are finding your balance through your upper body in this position and then just taking the toes off. Nothing else changes. From there, you can potentially extend your legs up, move really slowly when you do that so you can feel and make any adjustments as you're doing it. And then you bring one foot back on and the other one comes down. Oopsie. And you've done it. So vitally important in that exercise is you don't push off the wall. Okay, you find your balance, you find your stability through your upper body, and once you've found that position, your toes just come off. So it might just be you're pointing your toes and you flex, point and flex like this. Oh, I found my balance. Just take the toe off, stay there, put it back on, take it off, put it back on. You want to make sure that you're not too far away from the counter because otherwise you end up not being able to stack your hips over your shoulders, and then you have to end up pushing and then you destabilize yourself. Also, if you come too close, you're going to end up a bit too squished. I mean, you can potentially do it, it's just a bit uncomfortable. So you want to find that kind of Goldilocks position where I think it's like shin distance away. Not from the kickboard, which is underneath, but from slightly like in line with the kitchen counter, so a tiny bit further away. Another way to get up and find stability is to go up really slowly. And it's what I call the float up. I learned this from Tripsikara Yoga when I was doing my teacher training, and it's bloody hard, but you just have to persevere, you have to keep going. Otherwise you will continue to kick up and either get nowhere or fall over. So for the float up, here's what you do. You assume the position, forearms on the floor. Make sure also that your elbows are no wider than your shoulders, so elbows in. Now you want to try to get your feet relatively close forwards. It's going to feel very uncomfortable here, so it's like a very tight dolphin pose. Push your chest back so you're not taking your upper body forward too far. You can have a little bend in your knees, but not too much, because otherwise your bum comes down. You want to try and get your bum as high as you can over your shoulders as possible. Now from here, you're going to lift a leg. This top leg is going to do all the work. So you're going to pull the top leg up. You can bend your knee as if you're trying to touch the back of your head with your foot. You come onto the tip of your big toe on the foot on the floor, and then a pull, I did that a bit too quickly, a pull of your top leg literally just lifts your second foot off the floor. You can stay there and then eventually find balance. Oopsie. Not like that. Sometimes you do need to give yourself a little bit of a kick from the base foot, but it's a tiny one because the top leg is doing all the work. So if you think that you're not flexible enough to get your leg high enough, I feel you. You can bend your knee also. Bending of your knee gets a little bit of a counterweight to go over your head. I'll show you. So your foot acts like your counterweight. So you're bending your knee, you're pulling, 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 and then the second foot comes off. You're going to feel it all through your hamstrings and your bum because these muscles are working so hard to lift your leg, to get your hip into extension, to take your leg up and lift the rest of your pelvis. Now, when I was first learning this, I was like, oh my God, this is impossible. It is really hard. But literally after hours of practice of just pulling and pulling and pulling and pulling and pulling my top leg up, eventually my second foot came off the floor and I was like, and you might die of shock the first time that happens and you come crashing down. That's normal, let that happen. But basically you pull up with the top leg and eventually you find liftoff with the second leg. So have a go at both of those. Let me know how you get on and I want to see your progress. Subscribe to my YouTube channel using the button below, I don't know where it is. And I will see you in the next video.